Hello Zion, hello Zion. It's Prince Eric once again. So, yesterday we talked about the two things we should watch out for, right? When things and ideas become God, and when people, idols, put themselves in the place of God, right? So, today we're going to talk about the other aspect of that, right? And that is really um, what I would like to call the angels, right? The angels. So there's been information out there circulating, talking about the third installment of Enoch, right? The third installment of Enoch. Apparently, it exists out there, and it talks more about this angel of wisdom and I don't know, knowledge, right? And this character, of course, he is associated with cubes, right? Associated with cubes. And of course, the Kabbalah, right? That goes hand in hand with the Zohar, no, the Torah, and of course, the last being the Talmud, right? Now, you might think on the surface level that some of these books sound like old Israelite, but really, if you look at the content, it's not really in any way. I'm just saying it has nothing to do with the true Israelites, right? I think that has been established, and what also has been established is these people pretending to be the 12 tribes of Israel, right? The single peoples that claim to be the tribes of Israel. And they also teach each other that, you know what, black people are not going to make it to heaven. Such a familiar teaching, but yet same suspect, right? Oh yeah. Apple. So, what is this all about? Well, it's just a proper infiltration type situation, right? We see it even in the movie Constantine, right? There is this angel in there that calls itself, and I mean it by calls itself Gabriel, right? It's a running joke, you know. Identity theft is crucial, especially when you have evil intent, right? So, of course, they're gonna come to you and say that, yeah, like I said, I think I said this previously. I think we have to put it in our minds that whatever God is gonna do in the future, as in prophecy, as in written, the devil will also copy, right? Israel will be liberated by wonders and signs, right? Fearful sights to the peoples of the earth. So what does the devil do? Copies. Israel has a prince. What does the devil do? Copies, right? They call him the prince of the bottomless pit, but yet the king, Abaddon, right? The same title. Why two titles for the same character? Because it's a copy. It's a copy. So, as usual, right? They have to lay the foundation by bringing forth, or rather bathing forth, their prophets to make way for them, right? And I've also talked about the cube, right? We have talked about the cube here, right? And how we should be wary of the cube, right? And I talked about its relationship with the planets, right? On quotations, Jupiter, right? Or Saturn, right? They are all connected by this idea. So it's just like the scripture said, the angel of darkness changing itself to become the angel of light, right? And it's quite easy to know who they are, regardless of whatever disguise they have, right? They are against, they are the ones that oppose, right? They oppose the natural order, they oppose the creator, they oppose what is meant to be. And this is how you know who they are. So they will try to undo or establish a new understanding of the scriptures, right? Where is this third book of Enoch? Where does it come from, right? I do not even believe the story that they tell us about where they got the whole the second book of Enoch, which is what we are reading right now. I don't know about the first one. I don't know if they were integrated into one single volume, but that's a whole other situation, right? They say it's the Dead Sea Scrolls and stuff like that, you know. I don't believe that nonsense. You know, these people have these records in storage. They're important, right? If they want to deceive the world, they have to know the truth, right? They have to know the truth and then choose to oppose that truth. So what you should be looking at is the negative of their ideologies, really. The negative of their ideology. They are trying to oppose, right? So that's the true meaning of you know them by their fruits. Huh? I just I just thought I would sprinkle that in there, you know. At least they have representation, equality and all, right? They are reversing. Now they are backsliding on the whole idea that it is the chosen land and the chosen people and whatnot. Yeah, good luck with that. Where do they even find the funding to do these projects, right? They seem to have money for war and nothing else. accept lies, which is literally why people go to war, because of lie and being deceived. So, yeah. Mm? Now, this piece here is quite something. Quite something, because they say that their lives mattered, yes, but their focus is only on black crime, right? Black on black crime. And they say that it has been a bigger problem since the defunding the police movement. So first and foremost, I do not believe that the whole defunding the police was a black agenda. It wasn't a black agenda. From the reports that I'm getting, there's a lot of mistrust, and when you're called, sometimes you're not responding, so it wouldn't affect them in any way. Even they know today, if you fund them or you defund them, it won't take out the racism out of them. It won't. It won't. This is not funded racism, no. This is them being protected from consequences, right? I was watching this clip here. They were basically just fatally choking this black man here, right? One guy below choking him from behind, two guys holding their hands, and the other taking the footage, the video. And this is supposed to be like normal. These people have lost their ways, brothers and sisters. If you do such things here in Africa, you are dead on the spot. But that's not yours neighborhood. That's not yours neighborhood. So the enemy will always seem to be overwhelming. So do not be like them, right? I think I gave this advice. Do not be like them, okay? The scripture says, when you always repay with kindness, it's like setting up coals on top of their head, hot coals. Okay, it's from Proverbs 25, right? If thine enemy be hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he be thirsty, give him water to drink. For thou shalt heap coals of fire upon his head, and the Lord shall reward thee. Right? Why is it advised to have a... Because this advice is for really spiritual health and nourishment, really. That's what I think of it, you know, regardless of what we see, what is recorded. Most importantly, I need to emphasize that, right? We are only seeing what is recorded, what became popular. The real situation is quite worse, right? And having to fight for as long as one lives, like I've said, sooner or later, if you are not careful, you will become like them. You become like them. hateful, plotting to do damage. Okay? So this war that I'm fighting, this is not my war. It's not my war. I just got here in 94, my nigga. Right? And the world was much like this even prior to that. Right? So it's the same thing with how the whole system seems to behave, and this piece here seems to downplay this whole situation. So you're saying that we brought damage to our own movement. Is that the case? Right? BLM, by the time it ended, it was a white movement and stuff like that, right? It became political. Some states wanted, I don't know, a free states and all of this madness, which had nothing to do with how are you going to stop some white people from killing black people. That has not been resolved. And we just sat here and watched that fiasco being taken over by white people. Right? I'm not saying the black people are innocent, you know. They acted like savages too. But again, capitalism is opportunistic. You have to be opportunistic not to survive in a capitalist world. It's a dog-eat world. Huh? It's a dog-eat-dog world, right? Cutthroat, so they say. Not your own throat, somebody else's throat. That's what it takes to survive in Babylon. So the effects on you being present, being around this toxicity, is that it will corrupt you also. That's why every time Israel was redeemed, they had to move local. They had to move local. Right? Because there is more to spirituality than an individual. Right? Everything is spiritual around us. Right? Christ was talking to trees, you know. It's not nonsense, man. It's not. It's not nonsense. I had a try. I'd rather not go into detail about that, but it's legit. Right? So being a spiritual person is seeing the bigger picture, is seeing everything for what it is clearly, I think. Not what we desire it to be, right? We talked about this also in the other previous video prior to this, right? Talked about the illusion of choice and how it can be a hindrance to actually having your eyes fully opened to the realities of the disaster that we are surrounded by, right? So here they go, covering their backs, you know, trying to have a neutral ground, you know, because this defunding the police has not only affected black people. That's what they want to trigger here. They're just saying half-truths like always. Right? They had a guy who made a whole documentary about this whole situation. These keyboard warriors who have not learned anything from history, really. They expect things to change in Babylon, in Egypt. They expect things to be accommodating for an Israelite. Really, that is what we are thinking now. All right. All right. That's all I have to say about that, really. Is all right. Me as an African, I know for a fact there's a whole other part that Negroes in Egypt do not get to experience, right? And they rather not be at the receiving end of, right? So situation is vicious and animalistic in nature, with a pinch of deception to get a reaction out of you so as they can destroy you, right? They want you to form your own movements, just like the Black Panther. What do you think the Black Panther movement was for? They engineered the Black Panther movement, brothers and sisters. They engineered it, right? So as they can bait and then cut the head. That's what they do, right? And it was almost about to happen during the BLM situation, right? We had groups of black men heavily geared with armor and big guns saying that, you know what, we are not looking for safety from the police nor the army. We are going to take control of this situation by our own lonesome, right? It will be like literally deja vu, you know, just like the whole situation with, what do they call it, the Black Wall Street and whatnot. It will become a war zone in your neighborhood. And that's what they want. And this has been going on for so long. They just need the justification, either it being political or security. They just need a reason to come in there and kill y'all. Okay, so understand the ground that you're standing on. Understand that first. And the depth thereof. Okay? When you're here in Zion, you'll be stronger. You'll not face the same threats as when you are just roaming around. And these people, you are just part of their plans now for destruction and stuff like that, you know. And the more you see these reports, the more desensitized you become, or the more radical you become, right? Playing on emotion and intelligence again, right? So that's why it's not really healthy to dwell among demons, walking around in the flesh, pretending to be people. Right? Of course, they have their white messiah over there. Yeah, blue eye, long hair, Middle Eastern, right? But leaning slightly or more to the Caucasians, the masters of civilization. Ish. The nerve talking about us, right? What does your teachings teach you about black people? Are they going to heaven? Huh? Hmm? They say after liberating Israel, they're gonna come to Africa. That's the wording in the blue. That's Bantu, right? And the subtitle, it says, this is an issue that we hold dear in our hearts, helping Africa. Excuse you, there's so much nonsense going on these days. It's almost, right? It's almost a joke, but Zoroastrianism, right? The knowledge, the religion of the demons, right? And basically the tree of life. That's what they say. The tree of life. They are talking about the tree of life. They are teaching each other about the tree of life, right? Just deifying themselves and whatnot. Having procedures to enlighten themselves, right? Because look, even the Christians say that God is within you. The kingdom of God is within you. Just taking stuff out of context to make it, I don't know, fit together with their desires, really, for power and stuff like that, right? That's why people get into such activities like magic and whatnot, right? Just petty stuff. So be wary of angels walking around, trying to convince people that they have been sent by the Almighty to do His bidding, right? And if you examine what they're saying, is really deceptive. Again, you'll know them by their fruits. So yeah, I like to put a pin on that. So we shall talk to each other when we talk to each other, right? Prince Easy signing out. Love you. Bye.